Hey guys, so today we have an analysis of the 2018 Senate polls from Friday, the 2nd of November 2018. So let's start off in the Nevada, and before we get into this, there's a lot of, firstly, conflicting data that we're seeing from states like Iowa and Connecticut. We're also seeing quite a lot of, can I say, split tickets, if you will, in many of these states, but there's a lot of very important races that we're going to cover. None more important than the state of Nevada, which could determine control of the U.S. Senate. Now, Dean Heller was leading. That was not a good sign for Democrats. Then, Jackie Rosen led by 3, according to CNN, and now Rosen is leading by 2, according to Gravis. Now, there's a lot of reasons why this could be. It could be that President Barack Obama came to visit the state of Nevada, could have re-energized the Democratic base there for Jackie Rosen and Steve Sisolak in the governor's race there. In addition, so that's something major I want to point out, and for that reason I already recorded this video, but I had it in the toss-up column and I'm moving it into the tilt Democratic column. So yeah, I had already recorded the video and then it didn't work, so I had to re-record it, but I had already got into Nevada, and so I had to put it back there for you guys. In Ohio, this has narrowed down, but it seems like Sherrod Brown will go on to be re-elected senator from Ohio. Ohio is a likely Democratic seat, probably going to go over to Sherrod Brown at the end of the day. I don't really want to cover it because it's not really that competitive. Same thing over in Wisconsin. Tammy Baldwin also leading by 9 points there. This is going to go over to the Democratic Party. Now, looking at the state of New Jersey, Bob Hugin versus Bob Menendez. Bob Menendez now back in the lead solidly by 12 points. Pretty good news for him. He's probably going to be re-elected United States Senator from the state of New Jersey. Now, looking at Pennsylvania, the Senate race there between Bob Casey and Lou Barletta. It's a likely Democratic seat. I have it in the likely Democratic column as well. This polling data also shows that, and I'm keeping it in the likely Democratic column. In the state of Connecticut, I don't know why they would poll the Senate race, but Chris Murphy is leading by 23 points, according to Gravis. Pretty good news for Murphy heading into this one, but it's safe Democratic anyway. Again, why are people polling the Vermont Senate race? Because it's going to go to Bernie Sanders anyway. Gravis shows Sanders leading by 36 points. Pretty good news for Bernie Sanders. They're going into this election. Now, we've covered all the Senate races. Overall, good news for Democrats. Each one shows the Democratic candidate there leading. Good news for Democrats going there, but many of the races they polled were already in races that were going to go to the Democrats anyway, other than the state of Nevada. These were all likely or safe Democratic seats. Now, looking at the state of Georgia between Brian Kemp and Stacey Abrams, the day after we get a poll showing Stacey Abrams leading by 1, Brian Kemp leads by 2. This is like seriously one of the closest races. Abrams plus 3, Kemp plus 2, Abrams plus 2, tie. Kemp plus 2, Kemp plus 2, Kemp plus 2, Kemp plus 2, tie. Abrams plus 1, Kemp plus 2. It's always within 2 points. Other than this poll, every single poll that was done shows Brian Kemp or Stacey Abrams within 2%. This is going to be one to watch, guys. But at the end of the day, I think I would still ever so narrowly give this towards the Democratic Party there. Well, I don't know why I just deleted that one. There we go, that's better. In the states, so we've covered, there was a tied poll and then a Kemp plus 2 poll. The tied poll has more undecided voters than the Republican up 2 poll. But yeah, anyway, let's go on to Minnesota between Jeff Johnson and Tim Walz. This is probably going to go to Walz at the end of the day, definitely leaning, or probably, yeah, actually I'm going to move it into the likely column now because of how much, how often Walz has led every single time. This is going to go to the Democrats at the end of this election season. Now, we have a lot of conflicting information out of the state of Iowa. This is a race between Kim Reynolds, the incumbent Republican, and Fred Hubbell, the Democratic challenger. The RCP average is a tie. This is one of the closest races. This is actually the first time that Kim Reynolds, the incumbent Republican, has actually led in this race. It's a tie, it's a toss-up, it can't get any closer than that. I do have a little disagreement with 538 on this one. I believe they put it as a likely Democratic seat, a likely Democratic pickup, if it's going to load. Just waiting. Maybe they don't do the things, but yeah, they don't do the governor races, but they still put Iowa in the Democratic column, I believe. Yeah, they have Iowa in the leaning Democratic column. I would probably put it more in the tilt Democratic column because we're getting conflicting data from the state +4 and +4. I would probably... I'm really conflicted on this one because the Reynolds +4 poll is done by Emerson, which is probably much more trustable, and it has less undecided voters. Now, the Democratic poll, University of Iowa, has more undecided voters. Now, so I'm kind of conflicted, but between these two polls, I would choose the Emerson poll. However, if you look at the previous polls done in the race, they're kind of coming back towards that they were going to the Democrats, so I'm going to ever so narrowly put it in the tilt Democratic column, but I'd like to get some more data from the state of Iowa. Now, in the state of Connecticut, Bob Stefanowski versus Ned Lamont. Again, a lot of conflicting data from the state. Lamont +9 and the Republican up 2. Now, again, I would trust the Gravis poll more because it is done by Gravis, not this poll that shows the Republican ahead. In fact, I'm actually going to throw this poll out because there's no way that it's only 38-40. There's no way there's that many undecided voters. So overall, good news for the Democrats there in the state of Connecticut. If I can scroll down, it's not going to jump anymore. In Arizona governor race, it's spreading out again. It was getting to a point where maybe the Democrat could pull off some kind of historic upset with Ducey +7. But now Ducey has doubled his lead to 18 points. That's that's going to go into the likely Democratic column in that one. I'm going to start moving it a little bit faster, move the ball along a bit quicker. In the state of Ohio, Mike DeWine versus Richard Cordray. Cordray leading by 5. Would definitely give the edge over to Cordray, the Democrat, in the Ohio governor race. I also think that Sherrod Brown has a positive down ballot effect for Richard Cordray. The same cannot be said for Jim Renacci or Lou Barletta or whoever it is. I can never remember what one, if I can just look real quick. Yeah, it's Jim Renacci in the Ohio governor race. I don't think the same can be said for Jim Renacci having a positive down ballot effect for DeWine. Now, we covered all these ones. Now let's go into the state of Wisconsin between Tony Evers and Scott Walker. Evers now leads by 5. This is a very hotly contested race, but would give a lean over towards the Democrats in that one. Sorry, just one sec. I do need to just check something. I believe there's a 3-way race. Yeah, there's a few polls done in the 3-way race, but this Libertarian candidate not having a big effect on the race itself. Now, if I can find the Pennsylvania governor race, actually I'm not covering that. Wagner versus Wolf, this is going to go over towards the Democrats. I have in the safe column. Someone could argue it's likely, but I'm keeping it in the safe Democratic column. Now, South Carolina and Vermont, two states that are likely to go towards the Republicans. McMaster leading by 15 in the latest poll, a Republican poll, but still you can expect this one to go towards the Republicans. Same thing in the state of Vermont, Phil Scott leading by 10. You can't argue with that, that's a good thing for Phil Scott. If you look at both of these races, they are in Republican hands. South Carolina in the likely column. I'm actually going to move that in the safe column, and Vermont in the safe column, and moving that into the likely column. So a bit of a flip there. Now we have some polls done in the congressional races, and I do quite like these polls. A lot of insight into the specific races that could determine. And the one that really pops out at you, the one that is really, really like eye-popping, if you will, is this Alaska at-large district between Don Young, the Republican incumbent. I believe he's been there for a long, long time, if I can check the House forecast in the state of Alaska at large. Yeah, because of this poll, they currently have it in leaning Republican, but before that, it was in the safe column. Look, it was in the safe column. Now it's suddenly moved up. But, yeah, if we go ahead and look at the fundamentals, I believe he's been in here for a long time. He's like a 24-year incumbent or something like that. Maybe it'll tell us in the here. Yeah, he's been elected to 23 terms. That's a lot of terms. That's like 46 years in the House, which is a very, very long time. And he could actually be facing a real challenge this time, going against Alice Galvin. I'd like to get some more polls from this district to see if this poll is an outlier. But at the moment, I'm moving it in the House. I had it in the likely Republican column. I'm moving it all the way into the tilt Republican column because of that brand new poll that shows the Democrat leading in solid red Alaska. Now, okay. Now we have the California 49th district between Josh Levin and Diane Harkey, and she's not the incumbent. Levin has consistently led, losing a little bit of support in this home stretch, but I can expect this one to go in California 49, Darrell Iss's seat. This is going to go towards the Democrats at the end of the day. Now, we have 3 new polls in the state of Iowa. The 1st district, the 2nd district, and the 3rd district. All 4 of Iowa's districts are somewhat competitive. Abby Finkenauer is leading in the latest New York Times poll, not as much as she was leading before. Abby Finkenauer probably going to go on and be the next congresswoman from the state of Iowa. I have it in the leaning Democratic column. In the 2nd district, this is likely to go over to the Democrats. Democrat incumbent Dave Loebsack. I don't know how long he's been elected there. Iowa 2. Yeah, 79 in 80 chance the Democrat's going to win. He's only been elected to 6 terms, but still, that's kind of a long time. If we go over to the 3rd district, Cindy Axne is leading by 1 point. There was a point in time where the Republican could actually win this one it's not looking too likely now with consistent leads for the Democratic candidate there. I'm putting it in the leaning Democratic column, but it could go into the tilt column. We have 3 more polls to go in New York 27, Virginia 10, and President Trump job approval. Now, New York 27 between Chris Collins and Nick McMurray. This is probably going to go over to the Republicans. I believe I have it in the leaning GOP column. The Republican up 7 there. Pretty good news for him. Now, in Virginia 10, Barbara Comstock versus Jennifer Wexton. Wexton leading by 11 points according to the latest Washington Post poll. Good news for her. I could move it into the likely column. That is a possibility at this point. If we go over into Virginia 10, they give the Democrat there an 8 in 9 chance, and they also give it in the likely column according to the classic forecast, the likely column in the light forecast, and the likely column in the deluxe forecast. Now, I can't see this going towards Comstock. I could see it going into the likely column, and because of that new poll, it is in the likely column, and I'm moving the 10th district of Virginia into the likely Democratic column, going away from Barbara Comstock there. We had the final poll. Rasmussen reports President Trump job approval. Rasmussen shows President Trump ahead by 4 points over his disapproval rating. I'm not buying that number. It's just such a big outlier compared to every single other poll. I'm not buying it. So that's it for today's video. A lot of important data. Sorry this video dragged on a little bit too long, but a lot of data that we're going to be covering in the next few days. A lot to talk about. A lot of conflicting data in many states, Iowa and Connecticut's governor race in particular. A lot of switches, namely the state of Nevada moving into the Democratic column. And it's just going to be absolutely crazy. In the final, let me just check. In the final 3 days, 20 hours, 38 minutes, and 20 seconds until the first projection of the 2018 midterms. It's just going to be absolutely crazy. And yeah, that's it for today. Thank you guys for watching this video. Comment down suggestions below, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.